What's up, guys and gals? Jared here with another huge movie review. Marvel has been kicking butt this year with Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, but there was a small character missing from those movies: Ant-Man. Well, now we know why in the new Marvel film, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So do these little characters make for a huge movie? Let's find out. So Ant-Man and the Wasp picks up a couple years after the events of Captain America Civil War, but also before the events of Avengers Infinity War. Scott Lang has been on house arrest ever since his violation of the Sokovia Accords, and Hope and Hank Pym have been on the run from the government. Anyways, they think that they found a way to save Hank's wife, Janet, from the quantum realm, but this involves them having to get this technology from a black market dealer, and also a dangerous mission. As they get ready, several things get in the way, along with a mysterious woman by the name of Ghost. Ant-Man and the Wasp was this fun, delightful switch up from the usual end-of-the-world Marvel material. This is a much smaller, no pun intended, intimate story of the movie just kind of focusing on a handful of characters along with their personal problems, which is great. And due to this, as an audience member, you pretty much only have to watch the first Ant-Man to be caught up on all of the events in this movie, maybe also Captain America Civil War, but you don't have to watch the whole 19 or 20 previous Marvel films. In addition to the much smaller scale story, Ant-Man and the Wasp is one of the most fun times you'll have at the theater this year, both enjoyable and hilarious. All of the cast members have this fantastic chemistry amongst one another, so all of the one-liners and fun banter just seamlessly fly between one another. Ant-Man and the Wasp comes with some hilarious one-liners along with some great visual gags. Scott Lang's crew of ex-cons definitely have their time in the comedic spotlight, and yes, Michael Peña's Luis is back with his hilarious storytelling methods. Like I mentioned, everyone is really fun, had their time in the spotlight, but Randall Park is definitely someone to watch for in Ant-Man and the Wasp. He sort of plays this FBI agent that's in charge of Scott Lang's home arrest, but he's also trying to track down Hank and Hope Pym, and every time he's on screen, it's really funny. His chemistry is really great with Paul Rudd and makes for some hilarious scenes. I love a lot of his work, and Ant-Man and the Wasp is no exception. Another thing that was out of this world was all of the visual effects in this movie, both the shrinking and growing aspects and different stuff, but there's two aspects or visual effects that really stood out to me. One of which was all of the visual effects and ghost-likeness that was involved with the newly introduced Ghost character. I guess her cells were kind of continuously being torn apart and put back together, but it made for this almost ghost-like phasing effect on the screen, and it was really cool how they pulled it off. And the second visual effect that jumped out at me was the old Benjamin Button de-aging technology. This is out of control. Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Lawrence Fishburne look years younger in this film, and it's not like those deep fake celebrity porno things. These de-aging effects are maybe the best we've seen on screen. Absolutely amazing. Other than that, the movie was a nice change of pace on a much smaller scale. Maybe a few nitpicky negative things in this film were the fact that the villains kind of took a back seat to all of the other characters. No one really stood out, and you kind of forget about them until they show back up. And the script at times maybe felt a little messy. Run over here, something gets in our way, then we go over here to do something else. It wasn't a big thing. The movie flows fine with all of the humor. Overall, Ant-Man and the Wasp is a much smaller, intimate Marvel story and has a great balance between action and humor. With a much smaller scale story, great chemistry, some hilarious humor, and some solid visual effects, but with some of the villains kind of taking a back seat at times, I would highly recommend checking out Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's a nice switch up from the world-ending scenario and just proves that great things can come with small packages. After editing this, Jared realized it should have been in instead of with. This then brought back bad memories from 7th grade when Jared was depantsed in front of his crush. They had gone swimming as a class earlier. It was a brisk Tuesday, and everything came down. That moment haunts him still to this day. What did you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp? Was this the perfect amount of fun lightheartedness that the MCU needed? Or did this movie splat like a bug on a windshield? I want to hear about it in the comments below. As always, you can find me on the social medias at Jared Buckendahl on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Stardust. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Until next time, I'll see you later.